Coach Tubby Smith. I appreciate that time being with us today. I'd like to just ask you, I know you're a man of faith and a Christian faith is important to you. How has that impacted you in your college coaching years?
Well, when you talk about faith, the thing about being a college coach or being a leader in any position, and you have people that you work with, or in my instance, that play for us here at the University of Minnesota, we know they come from different backgrounds, different denominations, different faith-based groups. So my first thing is to live as an example, to say, hey, this is what keeps me focused on doing the right things in life and keeping first things first as far as my Christian beliefs. But it's also, being an example, not just setting an example. And so then giving or extending an opportunity for our athletes to partake or be a part of, whether it's going with us to the local church, inviting them to service on Sundays with me and my wife, or whether it's bringing in speakers from Fellowship of Christian Athletes or other athletes in action, many different groups, nations of coaches, Christian coaches that we have access to. So those are all things that we try to do to help our players appreciate it.
Now, as far as yourself, what are things that you try to do to keep your walk where it needs to be?
Well, I mentioned earlier, I try to have an accountability coach. We have someone that works with us, Ron Backus, who's our chaplain for our team, spends time with myself, on a regular basis, just doing some biblical Bible studies or just reminding me. Then my pastor at University Baptist Church here on campus at the University of Minnesota, Doug Donnelly. He's a guy that, emails. And I have other people, Chuck Mealy from around the country, who sends me devotions even yourself, those are the things, Robbie, that we do to keep us, keep the word in front of us, to keep us, build us up, and that God is here for us during tough, good and bad times. And that's what I do on a regular basis. And that strengthens me and helps me stay humble and stay believing and sharing my Christian value.
You mentioned church. I know that, especially in basketball season, that becomes a challenge. But I know that wherever you've been, being in a local church has been important for you.
Oh, absolutely. Everywhere I've ever been, whether it was at Kentucky and belonging to St. Luke Methodist Church there right down the street. And usually, sometimes it's because it's not necessarily of convenience, it's where you feel comfortable, just getting involved as soon as you can. Because that's where I was brought up, in a home in Southern Maryland, same church called St. Luke United Methodist Church in Scotland, Maryland. Then wherever I've been, whether it was Tulsa, Georgia, Kentucky, now Minnesota, and other places, that's the first thing I've tried to do is find a Christian home. Because now those folks and those people that are involved in your life are feeding you the word, feeding you good things. It just doesn't happen. Being a good person or being a strong Christian just doesn't happen. You got to work at it just like you have to work at being a good basketball player or being a good coach. So you have to have people around, and that's what we've done. And so it means a lot in your community, because now they are a vehicle, the church and your congregation, of people that can spread the word about the good works that you do, or even the good works that you may not be doing. If you're doing good works, it's going to help you spread that gospel about the good word, not necessarily what you do, but what God is doing for so many.
Well, I sure appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.